everyone, welcome to Starseed Oracle. Today we're looking at what your next big evolution is, and we're looking at that through the lens and the inspiration of the fact that Pluto just went retrograde in Aquarius and is moving back towards Capricorn, where Pluto will be in that sign from about the early September through the end of November. And it's the last time in our lifetime that Pluto is going to be in that sign. So it really signals the fact that big evolutions are happening in our lives. And so I wanted to just ask, a question directly about that. And also, I'm tapping in again with the Jupiter Uranus conjunction that is still very active in Taurus. Jupiter Uranus can speak to kind of the awakenings that can happen as well. So I really feel like there's such big things at play between this energy of awakening and evolution coming from these planets. So that's how this reading is kind of focused today. And I've got 3 different piles. Please excuse my fingers. Before I started filming, I was like roasting beets and thought that was a great idea. And then I couldn't get the beet juice out of my fingers. So sorry. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we have 3 piles. We have this group 1 over here with the amber pyramid. Group 2 with this black kyanite. And group 3 with the rough rose quartz, which is a little bit faded, but still wonderful. Okay, so feel free to pause the video if you need a moment and just click on in the description box whichever pile or piles are calling you at this time. And I will see you shortly. Thanks, y'all. Bye. Hi, group 1. Y'all chose the amber pyramid here. Set that over there. And this deck of cards. So today we're looking at what is your next big evolution. And the first card here is going to look at what is closing out right now, like what's kind of exiting your life, what's wrapping up. And the bottom 2 are going to be saved for the end. These are looking at the blessings to expect from the next big evolution. So I'm just going to put them over here. And we're also going to be looking at what is being awakened, how is this awakening showing up, what is the next big evolution, and then how to support that time of growth and shifts. And then these will be the blessings kind of coming from that. So this first card, we'll go ahead and get right into it. What's closing out and exiting your life? All right, so we have the Star card coming through. And it really just makes me feel like maybe certain dreams that you've carried up to this point in your time, up to this point in time of your life, you're actually starting to release for something else. Any maybe visions that you had of what your life was supposed to look like, or ways that you just had a certain idea or like preconceived understanding of where you thought you'd be at this point in time. It's just shifting. It's like not in a way that's scary to you, but it's just kind of that natural way that sometimes dreams that we have like change, right? So it just feels like what's leaving your life is any dreams that are just no longer aligned with who you are, and you're cognitively like aware of that fact and the fact that certain things are just no longer right for who you are anymore, and that's okay. And whether that be because of certain situations that you've been in that have maybe I heard just like pull the rug out from under you. So I don't know how comfortable it has been to come to this fact of needing to sort of release these dreams, or these dreams leaving your life. But whatever it is, it's very clear to me that it's just dreams that are no longer aligned with who you are becoming, and and your own like soul's growth and evolution at this point. So it does seem to be, no matter what way or form that's taking, that it is beneficial to you and your own growth. Yeah, and like this card, for some reason, I'm just thinking like it feels like this spotlight, right? Like very focused dream, like a very, this isn't like those vague dreams we have to like be successful or like to have happiness or to experience a great love. Like it's not like those kind of dreams. Like this feels like a very specific dream, or dreams that you've had that you're actually feeling like this no longer is for me anymore. And those are kind of being released to make room for the new awakenings and new evolution that we're going to get into. So I will leave that there. If that's resonating, definitely keep watching. So we have the first question I'm asking is, what is being awakened? So this is tapping into that Jupiter Uranus energy at the time that I'm filming this. So whenever you're watching it, the energy of that conjunction is very present at this time, which signals a lot of awakenings in our lives, and sometimes through that shock and difficult experiences of feeling, like I was saying, of like things being kind of pulled out from underneath us. So definitely know when it's Jupiter with Uranus, it feels like those, whatever is happening in terms of that experience, whether it be felt to you as more negative, it does, if we allow it ourselves to tap into kind of the greater potential purpose of that happening, it can bring further, it can bring us to kind of our blessings and understanding of where we're actually meant to go. That's going to be a lot more impactful in our journey, a lot more beautiful, like. And yeah, so Jupiter being with Uranus at this time just feels like the blessings are there if we're able to have the gratitude for what's happening, even if it's uncomfortable at the time. So for collective watching pile 1, what is being awakened for them? What is being awakened for the collective watching pile 1? What is being awakened for them at this time? Collective watching pile. Ooh, got a lot coming through. Okay. Wow. Oh, this is amazing, y'all. Okay, so we have the Sun with the 9 of Cups and Temperance. Yeah, that's beautiful. Like, what is being awakened for you is what actual true happiness means to you again, and understanding that maybe it wasn't those things that you thought they were in the past. And for Temperance, like, there's been a lot of, I'm actually filming your pile last, and it's interesting, there's been a lot of crossovers, so I don't know if people are watching multiple piles. Yeah, Temperance has shown up in another pile as well. It's like, I almost wonder if you were like putting all of your eggs in one basket to the point that it wasn't allowing you to come through in the fullness of who you are and how you want to actually express yourself in the world, and like allowing curiosity, allowing development of yourself in new ways, allowing just like more fluidity of your experience. And I sense that this moment of release that's been happening with these dreams, whatever they are, whether it's been forced from you or not, it's like truly bringing in what actual goodness is for you. And like that goodness being so tied to you being able to fully express yourself and tap into yourself as this creator being in ways that feel truly whole, like honoring of your full self. And I just really love that. I really love that for you. I'm gonna pull a few more cards here for how is the awakening showing up, to maybe get a little bit more specific. So how is this awakening showing up for the collective? Watching pile 1. Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles showing up for how it is, how is this awakening kind of coming into your life. So that makes me wonder, this could be definitely related to career or jobs that you had, the ways that you work with other people, and just the awakening coming in the form of a new opportunity in that realm that is actually making you again realize, like, oh, what I really thought and dreamed for myself, as, you know, that one vision I had for my life, it's no longer just that. Like, it's so much more than that. And so it feels like, whether that's someone coming forward with an offering to work with them on a project, or like just you tapping in with different parts of yourself creatively. Like, I didn't know that I actually was interested in this type of thing, you know, like starting a new hobby, or something that's kind of just awakening you to what you can offer and what other people can offer you in the material, in a way that actually really nourishes your soul. I'm just like being drawn to the center of this tree stump here, which is like, that's the seed, right? Like the seed of your soul is being awakened in these new ways because of your exploration of perhaps different types of, whether it be like creative endeavors or hobbies, or a job opportunity, or even just like specific collaborators who you might be working with, who just bring you, like, open your eyes to something new within you, or that has always been within you, but it just hasn't been awakened yet, right? Like, seeds hold so much potential, but it takes that moment. It takes the right conditions for it to be awakened and for that potential to begin to grow. So yeah, all right, so that seems to be this. So how the awakening is showing up. So let's now look and move towards what the evolution is, the big evolution happening. And I really look at this as the awakening piece, which is the Jupiter Uranus energy. This paves the way. It's like that spark of insight. And then the evolution piece, which is the Plutonic piece, is the path that we take. It's the long growth, right? Like, it's the path ahead that we forge, that shapes us and that changes us dramatically. And I think it's really amazing that we have had this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which happens every 14 years, just as Pluto is shifting signs into Aquarius, signaling like such a massive transition point for all of us, individually and collectively. So like I said in the intro, Pluto's moving back into Capricorn one last time, between, I think it's September 2nd to November 20th of this year. And you know, whenever you're watching this, like, this can be relevant. It's just the energy is present, but yeah, so it's just kind of, maybe there's this moment coming up soon where you're going to have one final point of sort of reevaluating these dreams, or recognizing like, it was, I am ready to let this go, like, I can see the path ahead. Yeah, and I think it's just, I'm personally very humbled often by the power of following the astrological cycles, especially from the outer planets and the way that they move through our lives in such a very perfect timing. So for the collective, watching group 1, what is your next big evolution? What is this next big evolution coming in for you? Collective watching pile 1. What is your next big evolution? Okay, well, we got a lot actually. Alright, we have emotional presence, the Cancer card. We have sensory stimulation with the Taurus card. Oh, this is way too many actually. Okay, we have multidimensional. I'm going to take the top and the bottom here. Braids. And I want to flow with you. Lovely. So, what is your next big evolution? Play. Play from the fullness of your being is what I'm like hearing and feeling from this. It's just like, yeah, that sensory stimulation. I was just thinking of like a museum where they have all, or like a children's museum or a science museum where you can just like get your hands dirty and all the fun things. And when you're an adult, you only really get to do that when you're like hanging out with little kids, and you're like, why don't adults do this more? I saw this recent like Instagram post or something of this person at this museum. I think they were in Japan. And the whole thing was so cool. You had to like take your shoes off to go in there, and you just like walk around through all, it was like an adult playground. Well, not just for adults, obviously, like for kids too, but like it was incredible. And it was all dark, and there's just all these like lights and like things you walk through. And anyways, that's where my head is going when I'm seeing this. Like, your evolution is kind of like a rebirth into your sensory experience of this life. And that is right on point with the Jupiter Uranus conjunction, because it is happening in Taurus, which is the sign of the senses. It's the sign of the body and of experiencing your physical body in this world and in this earth. And like here, I want to flow with you, like learning ways to flow with your body, like many different ways that feel just so exciting and playful, and bringing in like a renewed sense of connection to others, to yourself, and to your desires too, and what you want to be creating. I think this shift is also teaching you about how you are multidimensional, and like whatever you thought in the past was who you were, like that's not entirely the true story, and that's a beautiful thing. I just saw this vision. Like normally I think of this braids card as like ye energies of you and someone else being braided together, but I just saw this as like you and your higher self almost like being braided together. That you're calling in through this experience, like through this evolution that's happening, like just so much more of your higher self, higher essence, or future selves, whatever it is, like they are being like coming down into you and moving through you, like through your physical body, into what you are creating in this world, into the relationships that you're having, which are all showing you so many different parts of you in this way that's just so exciting. It's very dynamic. It's very stimulating. it's exciting. It's really exciting. This time period, I think that's coming up for you. Yeah, just like a lot of exploring energy. This feels very Gemini too, like just taking it all in and being interested in life again, where like maybe you were just wholly focused on like one thing, one goal for so long that you got kind of pulled out of that other experience of life where you can like have a lot of really pleasurable experiences and take things a little bit less seriously and understand yourself on all these different levels of like, I don't have to be this one thing, you know, like I contain multitudes, and I can flow with that. Like I can flow between them, and actually doing this is more what connects me to something higher than myself also at the same time, and like helps me understand the beauty in this life and the way that I am interconnected with other people, and how when I allow myself to creative opportunity to play, and I'm not like impatient with myself, and I'm not in a hurry to get somewhere, that's kind of when the bliss comes through, and when I'm able to access these parts of me and kind of just my gifts, like your gifts that you have, that are untapped potential at this point. Really feels like this next part, like this big evolution coming forward, is a complete like breaking open of that seeding potential. It's like you are just discovering so much about yourself and about who it's possible for you to be in the world through this next evolution. And through that, it's also deepening you in like from your spiritual self, like down into your physical body in a way where they're more integrated, and they just, there's more harmony there too, because you're not trying to constrict yourself to fit into one particular expression, and that's really incredible. So I'm gonna ask another question about this around how to support yourself through this evolution. So for the collective watching pile 1, what ways can they support themselves through this process? How one support themselves through this evolutionary process. Oh, I just get so floored by this sometimes. Oh my god, can we just talk about this? You have playfulness and adventure coming out. Like what? You are getting this opportunity to come back into touch with your inner child in such a wonderful, just delightful way that like you have not given yourself access to until now. Like this, I love it. I love it so much. Like this whole, like you are leaving the forest to enter this like whole prism of rainbow colors and just like totally then bursting forward in this more fullness of expression and just joy and lightness and like super carefree. And I mean, this is advice. This is advice coming through. So it's like the more you can tap into that, the better. Like the more you can put yourself in experiences that feel like a bit of a risk or like kind of just exciting. Maybe you're going to be learning the difference between what fear and or when you feel excitement and when you feel fear, how they have like a similar physical sensation in your body, but you are choosing to like take the risk anyways because you know that they are a similar feeling, and like that is kind of just like the excitement bubbling up too might be felt as like, I don't know, like, oops, sorry, I just kicked the thing. Make sure I didn't totally. That's fine. I'm sorry. You'll be a little off for part of this. I lost my flow. Okay. So I just, yeah, like continue to follow the things that, oh my God, make you like sparkle emoji. I don't know, like whatever is just kind of singing to your heart. And even if it feels really silly, like this whole reading, I feel kind of silly. It's just like like wanting to get out in the world and do things you've never done before, truly. Like that is the advice. Like if it interests you, check it out. You know, like if someone invites you to go on some like road trip, take it, you know? Like if you can do it, do it. Like it just things are going to really start unraveling and opening up for you once you truly allow yourself that excitement and that bliss. And yeah, like every possible step towards embodying more of your inner child and just befriending your inner child. I think if you're new to inner child work, or haven't done that before, I would definitely suggest learning a little bit about that. That is something that I do. I have a whole like 8-week offering that encompasses a lot of different things, but it's to tap you back into your intuitive nature, and a lot of it is just connecting with inner child and higher self and the ways that those two interact together. And so yeah, I don't know, I don't usually talk about that, so maybe that's something that would interest you, but I just feel like this is a great time of your evolution to really tap back into the wisdom of that child self and to understand the things that, you know, to reconnect with and to reclaim the things that they felt they had to let go as you sort of got maybe pigeonholed into certain things. So absolutely dive into some of that. Some of that if you can. And I just heard reparenting, but I don't feel like it's reparenting. It's more literally just reconnecting. It's a reconnecting. It's meeting your child self face to face and being that adult that you wish could have been with you to like have fun with. I don't know if that's something that you just didn't have a lot of, like people who would literally sit down with you on your literal level, like physical level, and play games with you or just be goofy with you. Like this time period is so like shedding anything that had kept you restricted and just letting yourself move more freely and feel more excited to be goofy and in a body and like how weird and exciting it is. For the sensory stimulation as part of this, I just feel like the more you're connected to to like all sorts of things, tangible things or foods and smells and like textures and music, like whatever it is, like let yourself take it all in as part of this opening, as part of this process of discovery. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the last cards here, and they are for the blessings, right? The blessings to expect from this. So these were the pre-shuffled cards, and we have the Two of Bones and Hirith, longing for home, homesick for the stars. So for this coming out as blessings, I love the depiction of this Two of Bones from this deck. I just feel like, ooh, even though it got, I think I spilled my tea on it. Sorry, y'all. That's really funny. Okay, anyways, I just like the wishbone imagery is so good. It really, it's such a playful depiction of this energy where it's like, which one are you gonna choose, right? And to me, like the way I'm interpreting it, because it's a two-headed snake, it's like I can choose both. Like I choose both sides. And I think that's kind of to like the blessing actually of this moment. Like you don't have to choose anymore. You don't have to choose. Like you can just experience life. And in doing so, it's leading you home. Like it's leading you into a place of feeling at home in yourself, of feeling this deep connection to your cosmic home, and this understanding of how it's like all the stars are within me, right? And like I'm home in the universe, and I don't have to be, I'm no longer contained. I'm like this boundless being, and in that fact, I'm always home no matter where I am. This time period could really bring a blessing of you traveling a lot, perhaps, of you really like just getting to getting to enter into new realms and new experiences of all kinds, and in that finding your sense of home no matter where you are. And creating a home also, like for your inner child that was feeling maybe like not cared for or unable to express themselves, held back in certain ways. It's like this evolution, the blessing coming through that is for them to really feel at home, and to feel home within you, and to feel home in all the ways that you're creating that for yourself moving forward. It's so good. It's so fun. I love this. If this resonates, I would love for y'all to let me know what's going on. If you're feeling this energy coming forth, that would be really cool to hear. Or whatever. If you like this reading, you can give it a like too. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me regardless, and it's wonderful to share in this energy and to deliver these messages today. Thank you to Pluto and to Uranus and Jupiter as well for supporting through their cycles happening right now, and for offering that framework for us today. And I really hope to see y'all in another reading. I appreciate you, and I'm sending many blessings and lots of goofy fun times coming your way. All right, much love. Bye, y'all. Hi, group 2. Y'all chose the black kyanite here, and we are looking at what your next big evolution is today. So I'm just gonna set this, check that out. Set this by the blue kyanite. They can be friends over there. I've got some pre-shuffled cards. The bottom 2 we're gonna look at the end. This one is to answer the question of what's closing out and exiting your life right now, or kind of wrapping up. And then we're gonna look at what's being awakened, how is that showing up, and then what is your next big evolution, and how to support the shifts. And then these 2 cards on the bottom are the blessings to expect from this evolution. So we're gonna put those over here and just go ahead and start with this card, which was what is closing out or leaving or wrapping up right now. So y'all got the Visionary of Vessels card, and I feel like this is really signaling to me that you are closing out a time period of your life that was perhaps really emotionally taxing. And where you were required to work through a lot of trauma, or going back, time traveling back into different parts through your emotional body, different parts of your life, to do some healing work, some really deep healing work. And that this is actually like you're reaching a place of completion with that, where it's kind of like you're ready for the next phase, where you don't have to be so focused on the emotional piece anymore. Like you won't be, it won't require so much of your life force at this point in time. Like this like hand with the eye crying into the flower. It's so, it's so raw. So I feel like there's just a way where that intensity and like need for a certain time period to be really focused on healing is kind of closing out, where you're able to bring, of course, and like hold the gifts of that, and also of the tools that you learned at that time, to greatly support you as you walk into the future, where things are just going to be a lot less heavy. And yeah, it's like you're gonna be, obviously, like, we always face new challenges, but yeah, like, in fact, in terms of needing to rehash things of the past and needing to like work through old stuff, like, you've done that work and you're actually like pretty freaking skilled at this point, with your with um understanding how to let emotions live in your body and let them flow through you and not become stuck, so that you then have to go back and do that work later. So this is great to see as kind of what's closing out at this time. It also could signal, if this is more external as well, like any kind of people or events or situations you're in that are really emotionally draining, that they could be exiting your life at this time, or you're being like removed from that situation. So that's definitely something that could be possible as well. So let's look at this question here of what is being awakened. So this is honoring that Jupiter Uranus conjunction, which, as I'm filming this, is very present in the energy whenever you're viewing this. So collective watching pile 2, what's being awakened for them at this time? Collective watching pile 2. What's being awakened for them at this time? And how is this? How is this awakening showing up? Collective watching pile 2. How is this awakening showing up for them? So we have the Knight of Pentacles showing up with gain here for what is awakening. And this really, to me, feels like an understanding, coming to a place of congruence in yourself in terms of your emotional life, that the stuff that you've been through here, the deep work that you've been doing, that combined with your actual desires, your spiritual desires in this life, like where you are in your growth, the people in your life, it's kind of like every area of life sort of coming to this point of understanding what your center is there. And once you reach that center, it's kind of like the center happening is the awakening moment. And when you reach that place, it's like, I understand. Like, I know what the next thing is, and here it is, like dropping all of these wands, being ready to know what it is that you want to carry all of this passion for, like where it actually feels like this is all of your passion versus like old things that need to be discarded at this point. That's like too heavy, that's burdensome, versus like you having the enduring power and desire for something. And yeah, with Temperance coming through as well, and how it's showing up, it's this greater like rebalancing of so many things in your life. So that could be, I'm hearing like you could get like a sudden like windfall of some kind that actually allows you the space to release these burdens that you've been carrying, whether you're overworking yourself. It really feels like there's just going to be this opportunity to, once you have this awareness, because you understand now what you truly want to do moving forward, through this awakening, or not even like what you want to do necessarily, but you like see the harmony in your own life. You see how the different pieces of your life fit together so that you know what the center point is, like where you need to show up and how you need to show up. And that is giving you this opportunity, or that is like the awakening coming through, which is coming along with some kind of blessing in the material, it feels, with the Nine of Pentacles showing up, that you have the space then to create so much more balance in your life, where it's like things aren't taking from you anymore, and you're deciding exactly what it is, like where things go. This card is Venus in Virgo, and so it just makes me think of like you have such a meticulous understanding of like where every single person, every single like desire you have, your spiritual practice, your like all these different kind of compartmentalized sort of ways or views that you've seen your life, they're all kind of starting to like snap into place for you, or you have some revelation or something that's coming in this awakening that's just like, oh, that's what it is. Like in this moment, this point of my life, that's what it is. Like that's the sweet spot. And then it's just going to kind of give you this opportunity to just like drop so much unnecessary, burdens or whatever it was that you've been carrying, that's just no longer necessary. And this can also just represent all of that you've been through here, through the energy of this visionary vessel is like working through all of the traumas and deep emotional stuff, that you're finally like feeling how much release you've done. And like I love in this card with the tears going into the fire, it's like that work is paying off, you know, and it's like it's showing up as you like renewed passion in your life, and this not in a way that is unsustainable. It's like this deep sustaining passion and presence with yourself, and love for what you're creating, and what you're creating feels like it's healing. What you're awakening to is kind of like the ability to show up as yourself and recognize how that is a healing force in itself. So, because you've like, you found that center. That's really incredible. So let me look at the next question here, which is, what is your next big evolution? Let's get into it. So this is my little personal oracle deck. And collective watching pile 2. What is their next big evolution? So I look at the awakening piece as kind of like the aha moment, right? And that's the Jupiter Uranus. And then we get the evolution, which is that plutonic force. The evolution piece is when we are like how we grow into those awakenings over time. And it's so incredible that we have this Jupiter Uranus conjunction happening right before Pluto moves for its final time into Aquarius, where it will stay for the next 20 years. Following the astrological cycles is really brilliant sometimes to help us understand the greater timing, the divine timing in our life, and just the way that things have their own natural rhythm. So yeah. All right, so pile 2, collective watching pile 2. What is their next big evolution? Collective watching What's their next big evolution? Okay, something else. Okay. We've got counterparts, threshold, crossing, humbled, opposition, and earthing. Let's just check. So group 2, in terms of your next evolution, wow. I'm getting a lot from this. Whatever it is, you're going to be humbled by it. It's going to really reaffirm, actually, the work that you have done in your life thus far. It is a deep initiation period into like the next massive chapter of your life, truly. You know, this, for the counterparts card to come out too, I don't know if you resonate with that word. It can mean a lot of different things depending on how you relate with it. But if there's anyone in your life who you have that kind of deep soul connection with, or you feel as sort of this polarity with, some people could say, use the words divine feminine or divine masculine, if that resonates with you. It doesn't have to be, though. I mean, I think this is also just referencing really sacred partnerships. And as this coming out in terms of what is your next big evolution, I really feel like there is some kind of partnership, whether that be platonic or romantic, or a deepening of one that feels very spiritual and very part of your journey as a soul in this life. It feels like that is coming in through this evolution, that this next big evolution in your life, that whoever that person is, and I'm seeing earthing, right? Like it's coming to earth, it's coming into the earthly plane to be experienced here. And I think it's really going to humble you. I think it's really going to be like, wow, this is really incredible. And I can't believe like what I have gone through has led me to this point. I really feel like that's coming through. So whether it is like your, you know, even with the 9 of Pentacles, that's making me think like a business partnership that is like a soul partnership at the same time, creative partnerships, finding that person who's truly your soul family, or finding a romantic partner who feels kind of like the person who really deeply complements who you are, and your lives just are in flow together in this way that is supporting both of your soul's growth and evolution in this life and in many lives. Truly, counterparts to me like signal soul connections which go beyond time, and so yeah, I feel like that's a huge part of your next evolution. For opposition to come through, opposition here is the opposition in astrology. So we have 2 planets opposite each other. That actually feels really connected to the counterparts as well, because it's this idea of like in astrology, like 2 planets that are opposed to each other. But the thing is, when planets are opposed, it's like it's an energy where they actually kind of have similar values and they're seeing each other. They're like directly seeing each other, right? Even though they're kind of on the opposite spectrums, or they might go about things, they might like decide to approach things differently, but they sort of carry the same value or the same desire. And it feels like you are like learning to rebalance or balance the oppositions within yourself, and that is deeply impacting the your own the depth of your connections, period, and how you are showing up in the world as well. And I think you're going to be really surprised by your own growth and sort of getting to express it in new ways in the world. Like, I feel like maybe this 10 of Wands has just been something you've carried for a really long time that you finally released, and it's giving you all of this space to have new connections and experiences, or to experience old connections in new ways. And you, like, yeah, like the threshold crossing, you are being initiated into a brand new cycle and experience in your life, where the way that you were showing up with others is totally different, and it is giving you this very whole, like a feeling of wholeness coming through, a feeling of togetherness that is not being together because you feel afraid to be alone. Like, it's you choosing the people who complement you as a soul and you in who you are in this life, and finding, like, grounding those in this material world. Yeah, so let me pull a card here on how to support this time period and these shifts. So this can also be like, yeah, like the potential challenges, maybe like how you can support whatever's going to come through this evolution. So collective, watching pile 2. How can they support themselves through this time evolution? I want to get one more card. Pile 2. Okay, yes. Let the past be in the past is what I'm hearing. And really, whew, I have chills right now. I just feel like things are truly, like, the light is coming. I don't know if you've been in the dark. The light is coming. Like, this possibilities card under the 10 of Wands, or over the 10 of Wands here, is like, whoa. And I feel like even this eagle in this image is like looking at it like, oh wow, I finally see the light. It's like in shock. And it just, yeah, it's like the dawn is coming in this way that is like really gonna have you kind of on your knees. Like, I can't believe that things are changing in this way. And like, it really is such a big shift in your life, like tectonic shifts. This is the 2 of Wands in this deck. And it just, like, I'm getting this sense of like, allow yourself this moment where anything feels possible. Like, let yourself really feel into that and understand, like, what you have done is what has brought this, and like, you can finally really, really let that go as you move into this new space of your life, and just continue. This is really like, as advice, it's really like actually making me feel like, don't don't hold back at all. Like, anything you desire after this point of time, like, you can entertain that, truly. I feel like is kind of what's coming through. It's like you are just entering this time period where your growth, it's almost like you've completed like a lot of karmic lessons or just really heavy stuff that you came into this life needing to complete, really, really deeply needing to work through, that your soul wanted, you know, to have those experiences so that it could shed and like transform and all of that good stuff, right? That we understand if you are interested in spirituality and growth as a soul. We know like the hard stuff that we come here to do, it's for our it's for us to continue to evolve and to continue to grow. And it just feels like you've done so much of that to the point that this new evolution that's happening is actually coming from your own, like, kind of your own just truer, unburdened essence. So it's way more creative, it's way more playful, it's way lighter. It's like you can see the vision from high above. Like, you know what's coming too. It's like, to me, I'm sensing like this bird seeing the sunrise for the first time, and then once it happens, it's going to happen over and over again. It's going to see the sunrise come again and again, and it's like, oh, I understand now. I see the patterns. Like, I've understand fully the patterns of my life. I don't need to be worried about them anymore, or like I am on to new things, right? Like, yeah, it just, I think, like, I just keep thinking as advice, this is just like anything is possible here. Like, you have really closed out some super significant stuff. And kudos to you. So just like let yourself be astonished. So I just heard, let yourself be astonished, and also let yourself continue to keep dreaming, no matter how big it is, because I think you'll be really surprised and humbled by how much of what you are desiring and imagining for your life, once these things start to come through, once this evolution starts to kind of like move through you and move through your life, that the opportunities and the potentials are just going to continue to grow exponentially. So yeah, wow. Okay. Let's get into the final question here, which was the blessings to expect from this. So I had these pre-shuffled cards. And okay, we have the Five of Bones. Let's see where I can put all this. That's Five of Pentacles and karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. And then finally the Void. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. Put that here. It just like blows me away sometimes reading cards and the way that things happen, because that's just wild that we have karmic relationships and we have counterparts coming out here, and this Five of Bones, like these being blessings coming through. Whew, it is really just like, you know, like you are just full on surrendering, releasing the things in the material that are not aligned with all of this good stuff coming in. And that is such a blessing at this time. And I don't get the sense that this is you, like the universe or whatever, coming in to force you out of those situations. It's like you are in full awareness of what isn't working anymore. And you have been. And the blessing is actually this release. It is this weightlessness. Sometimes the material realm, when we get so wrapped up in it, it actually can become its own burden. Like the things that we start to surround ourselves with are material, or thinking that we need so much in order to feel happy or to feel like we're fulfilled. And it's like, you're not in that game anymore. Like you moved into something else here. And this karmic relationship, I mean, karmic relationships coming out as a blessing makes me feel like you have worked through any karmic relationships that you were in, any relationships that felt like you were really having to move through some deep, difficult energy together with a person in ways that just felt very unfinished from the past or from past lives, whatever it was. And moving more into having the energy where this counterpart's coming through, which is that more harmonious ability to come into connection with others where they're very dynamic and very healing, very awakening, opening, and truly sacred honoring of one another. And just like moving past or moving out of this kind of conflict energy finally, to experience the beauty of your life in this new way. And yeah, the void coming through too, it's just feeling like, I keep hearing the word womb. It feels like you have, oh, I guess it says womb there. That's funny. I wasn't paying attention to that. Like you're totally comfortable in this place of stillness in your life, and comfortable in all the shades of who you are, all of your various people who you've been in your life, all the different iterations of yourself, to this point that you're offering others such a depth of presence that is like unmatched. And that's why all potential is coming through, because you're just sitting here and you're not like, it's not a feeling of impatience or urgency. It's just this like incredible calm that I'm sensing from this, as like this blessing of, yeah, like you've gone through this time where it's almost like you've been forced into this energy, or like forced into this need to find that stillness. But now it's just a normal thing that you can easily access. And it's like, okay, yeah, you could have that stillness and everything's falling apart around you, but it feels like in this cycle that's happening, that's no longer the case. It's like you have this stillness and all these potentials and opportunities are arising around you. And because you have this stillness, you know exactly which ones are right for you. You know exactly which people are meant for you on this path, are meant to walk with you, are meant to merge with you and grow with you. Yeah, that's an incredible blessing coming through. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I really love that as a final message. So thank you all for watching this. If it was resonating, I'd love to hear any comments. You know, that definitely, like, this is a lot of really beautiful things coming through this evolution, and I'm super like proud of you, group 2, for clearly like doing a lot of heavy lifting to get to this place. So that's really incredible. And calling in your blessings with you. And yeah, thank you to the planets for coming through, to Pluto and Jupiter and Uranus for all that they're bringing us at this time. And I hope to see y'all. Okay, I'm fading a little bit. Hope to see y'all in another reading. Much love. Bye. Hey, Pile 3. Y'all chose the rough rose quartz. I'll set this over here for you. and this little stack of oracles. So the first card we'll take, and then the bottom two I'm gonna keep for later. I have a lot to kind of get through question-wise. The first card here is gonna represent what is currently closing out, like what cycles are you closing, what's exiting your life, this kind of thing. And then we'll shuffle for a question around what's being awakened and how is this awakening showing up. And then what's your next big evolution, and then how to support this time of growth and shifts. So that could show potential challenges as well. And then these two are going to be the blessings that are going to be coming through this next evolution. So let's get started. The first card we have, so what is closing out and exiting your life and wrapping up? And we have the Nine of Swords coming through. Oh, I probably have to cover that, sorry. Okay. All right, wow, so Nine of Swords coming out right away for this what's leaving your life. That's a gift. And it's so wild that actually it says May right here. If you're watching this while I'm recording, that's like, yeah, I don't even know. It says May Mountains. That's wild. So maybe you're going to be really feeling this kind of like clearing in your life, of this really like self-depreciating, like just feels like extreme difficulty of entering a place of feeling love of self, where you're getting like in mental states that are just really harmful. These knives are all just stuck in this skull here, and it really is showing to me like you are beyond this now. Like this is kind of like the final, it's not exactly the Ten of Swords, but this Nine of Swords energy, like you're through kind of the worst of things. Like it's like that, or maybe through in terms of like you've made a decision, like a final decision of like, I'm not treating myself this way anymore. I want to make a change here. Or energies that are maybe external to you that have been kind of putting you in these places are going to be like suddenly exiting your life. Or just like maybe you've been at a job too or something like that that's like ending, where it was causing you a lot of this kind of more mental strife and just feeling really insecure about yourself, and just feeling like not good. Like whatever situation this is, whether it's just your own internal state of how you've been experiencing like your own self-talk, or whether it's like external in terms of like a person in your life or like a job situation or any kind of thing, or a school or whatever it is, it's like you're being taken out of that environment, or that is shifting completely. So that's really nice to see as like what's closing out at this time. And yeah, let's look at what's being awakened here. So although I'm feeling like I just want like, hold on. I want like, I'm so nosy. Okay, I want just one more card for this of what is wrapping up, if there's anything else to say about this like thing that's leaving your life with this Nine of Swords. So is there anything else for pile 3 to share around what is leaving their life, what's wrapping up, anything else we can get from this Nine of Knives, please? Anything else want to come through about what's wrapping up? What's wrapping up for pile 3? Okay. So this is my music card, and then maybe threshold crossing at the bottom. So I think no matter what, there's definitely something that you're moving away from with the threshold crossing. Then maybe it could be that because it's the 9 of Knives and not the 10, it makes me wonder if like there are pieces of this that you're still holding on to. So it could just be like, and isn't that funny, May again. And maybe that's actually more of what this is about. May and B. Okay, so that's really interesting. And with music coming through, are any of you seeing music in May that is going to act as some threshold crossing? That's interesting. Let me know if that is resonating, that you're like going to a show or something big is happening in May around music that is really helping you shift this energy or clear it out. But other ways that we could look at this would just be like, if you are in a situation, like maybe you stay, like if you're in a work situation, for example, and you have like a difficult relationship with someone, like maybe that person's leaving, but you get to still stay in that job, if that makes sense. Like, so it might not be like the entire thing is shifting, but like a piece of it is shifting is kind of what I'm getting, because maybe it feels like ambiguous or something, like it's not a full on like you're leaving something completely, but something is leaving at the same time. So okay. All right, we'll just leave it at that. I mean, this threshold crossing definitely makes me feel like you, at least internally, have a clear awareness, and maybe you're going on a trip or you're gonna like see some show or something as a way to like honor the fact that these things are changing, like shifts are happening, and that's really cool. So, all right, let's go to what is being awakened. So that's what we want to ask here. So collective watching pile 3. What is currently being awakened for them? As this clearing happens for the collective watching pile 3, what is being awakened? Newly awakened for them. This awakening showing up in collective watching pile 3. How is this awakening showing up in the collective watching pile 3? Whoa, we got 3 of Pentacles twice. This feels like it really could be a work situation, perhaps. Okay. And the 9 of Pentacles, too. Oh, wow, okay, so awakening perhaps in what you're doing for work really does feel like it. Let me make sure this is all in the frame here. So yeah, with double, like, this double 3 of Pentacles energy, it's just like with the 2 of Wands in between here, maybe you are trying to decide between 2 potential jobs, and that's the awakening coming through. So Okay, interesting. It's like, what is the awakening, or what's being awakened? New opportunities in ways that you work with others is really what's kind of coming through here. And we have Mars and Capricorn, which to me is signaling this drive to create something that is meaningful to you and actually really connected to your passions. So it could mean that this time period, this awakening that's happening, is really helping you understand the connection between your heart and your actions, right? Like actually taking like heartfelt, heart-led actions towards creating what it is that you really want to be experiencing in terms of creating this more material abundance for yourself and having a more independence in terms of how you are working in your life and how you're moving, how you're creating in a material sense. And maybe what's awakening around that is that there's something new there for you that you didn't see before, or that you're coming into this place where you're releasing, because you're releasing this Nine of Swords energy, or someone's leaving your life who was keeping you in that state. It's kind of like this like aha, like, oh my gosh, I do have these amazing skills and talents. Like I can shift myself like into a whole different understanding of this. Like this is so cool because in here it's like the pyramid, and then we have an entire mountain. So which just makes me feel like man-made to like natural or something. like like someone else's design. This is just what I'm seeing. This is not like how I would normally like interpret this card, but just from intuitively like a man-made or man-created design, right? And then to like you coming to this greater understanding of how you can cooperate with others, how you want to create a business, like how you want to exist in the world in a way where you're offering your talents and skills with other people that is natural to you, right? That is like super grounded and exciting and adventurous, is the vibe I'm getting here. And that's ultimately bringing you into this Nine of Pentacles energy. It feels just like, and we have 9-9, like that's really incredible, plus the 2 3s here. So I just feel I feel like it's a big moment of you mentally coming into the space of understanding your worth, and your worth perhaps in how you can make a living, and that is really changing. So maybe this Jupiter Uranus conjunction is happening in your 10th house perhaps, or in your 4th house. That might be relevant. I don't know. I mean, it could be anywhere, but I'd be curious. Definitely let me know where that is happening if you know that from your chart. I'm very, very like interested in knowing if that resonates. But yeah, so I think the awakening is clearly around like how you are independent, how you hold yourself in, how you hold your confidence in yourself in the material world, just like really releasing so much around negative self-talk and from keeping people around you or in your life who aren't healthy for you, who just like totally make you feel small, and like you're not able to access this mountain part of you that is really like rooted and grounded and knows their worth. So yeah, okay, so let's look at the next question, which is just what is your next big evolution? And we're gonna use my deck again. So collective watching pile 3. What is their next big evolution? I see awakenings and evolution connected. In like the awakening is the spark and the evolution is the journey that we take, right? So it's really kind of amazing that Jupiter and Uranus conjunction, which happens every 14 years, is happening as Pluto leaves Capricorn and moves into Aquarius, where it's going to be for the next 20 years. It's just like astrology is so fascinating to follow the larger cycles. Just the beauty of the timing really gets me. So, okay, what is your next big evolution? For pile number 3, collective watching pile 3, what is their next big evolution? What is their next big evolution? Okay, one more flip over. Huh, wow. This is so spot on here. We have tradition, which is my Capricorn card, which relates to that mountain energy I was talking about. Earthing again, which is that rootedness, right? And then emotional presence with the Cancer energy here. And I think like coming through this energy, releasing whatever happened in this Nine of Knives, it feels like your next your next evolution, your next big evolution has a lot to do with learning the skills to get you in a place where you feel really comfortable in your own skin, where you feel really rooted in who you are as a person and really proud of that also is what I'm feeling. And yeah, just like learning a lot of the skills to have a greater capacity for a presence with your own emotions and with the emotions of other people, especially in like when you're in a like professional environments, or even just, you know, in any place where you're working with others. It could even be like community building or volunteer work, whatever it is that you're doing. You are evolving in you're like learning and evolving how to be more emotionally present and pulling on or I guess what I'm saying, it's like going to help you both create new traditions for yourself, but also honor and find traditions that feel really resonant with who you actually are, and ones that are very honoring of the earth and as you as a human being who lives upon this earth. I think this card too is like that actual earthing is like that thing where you take your shoes and socks off and like walk on the earth with bare feet because of the benefits, health benefits that it can give you. And so that might be a practice that you find helpful during this time period. And what else am I getting from this? Let me it just feels like your level of confidence because of this new flow with others and being held by others in a way that is much more respectful of you. It's just helping you greatly evolve and into this person who is in this Nine of Pentacles energy, where it's like very independent but not like isolated. It's like this is people can say it's like happily single kind of energy, the Nine of Pentacles. So whether that is something you want or not, it's just I think it's just saying like you are going to be okay on your own and actually really freaking good on your own. And so like just rooted, right? So I want to ask how you can support this time of shifts. So let's get a card for that. So how can you best support yourself during these shifting energies? Collective watching health 3. How can they support these shifts? pause this real quick because I have to remember what card this is in the Osho deck. Hold on. Okay, this card is actually the Ace of Wands, and I love that as the advice here of how to support these shifts. And for it to come out as like in this deck being the source, it both is calling to mind. Oh, this even looks like an eye to me. That's really interesting. Like going back into self to be remembering of you as being connected to the all and taking the time that you need to really tap in with that as much as possible. And I love that this is for fire energy. You know, wands can be the very spiritual energy, and also the Ace of Wands is just so boldly ready to experience life to its fullest and like express oneself too, like just deeply creative, all of it. And like it's kind of this is like all potential is within you, and to not forget that. And I think like as you've been shedding this kind of Nine of Knives energy, you're really moving into this place where this is much easier to access because you're not kind of like constricted and confined by all of the clouds and blocks and barriers that being inundated with those messages that keep you small and keep you hidden and feeling not worthy. When those are kind of like removed, all you have is this like beautiful glowing life force, right? So I think this coming through in terms of how to support all of these things is really just to like continue to remember yourself and remember yourself as a part of source, and that's truly going to like help you evolve and move through these shifts. So all right, and the final question here is the blessings. So what blessings can pile 3 expect from these shifts? And I already pre-shuffled these. So we had the 4 of Bottles coming through, which is the 4 of Cups. And then this inner earth. You'll survive this, new solutions and beginning. Right above earthing. I feel like these coming out as a blessing is really interesting, and also I love this mirroring here of the mountain of inner earth and the mountain here that we already talked about in the 3 of Pentacles. I think it's just showing it, like through this process, like the blessing is really going to be like entering this new earth, this inner earth, right? Where like it is your inner earth, it's your mountain, it's your source, like accessing that part of you that is this pristine, untouched source energy that so much of your life force derives from. And that is going to be such an overwhelming blessing that pulls you into these new beginnings and helping you find creative solutions and everything that you need in order to be creating the life that you truly desire, and working with others in the way that you really are excited to, right? And with the 4 of Bottles, it's like you're not taking anything, like you're not settling anymore in any way. And you understand yourself as this like priceless gem, right? It's kind of funny, this person's like in a bottle. Which I'm almost like getting this image of like, oh, they're for sale or something, but like they're priceless also at the same time. And yeah, it just feels like you aren't interested in anything except that which values your own inner mountain, you know? And like this new evolution that you're on, you're calling in those who can see you in that growth and who can see you in this confidence and respect it and really truly value that about you. And yeah, you're like making moves that are just bringing you into a life that you desire to live within. And that is the evolution there, you know, like, and to reaching new levels of self-confidence, because not because you have this thing or that thing, or like you're earning a certain amount of money, but because your inner understanding of who you are as like a spiritual being having this experience in the material realm, like you're connected, you're deeply connecting to yourself in this way where those are merging together, and the value isn't determined by the material, right? But your material is reflecting more of what you are feeling and sensing of yourself innately as you're kind of building this mountain and traversing this mountainous space. And I think like this card coming through, also the inner earth card coming out as a blessing, it just really makes me feel like things are going to be opening up. It's like the inner earth in this deck talks about that kind of earth that various spiritual traditions talk about. That's kind of this like hidden earth that exists somewhere on our planet, this like pristine land. And it's to me like saying like things are going to be revealed. Like the blessing is like beautiful things being revealed to you in terms of your future path. And because you're not taking anything less in your life also, like you know your worth and your value at this point. Like this is kind of like being revealed, like the veils are being dropped, things are going to be starting to come in for you, or you're just going to like walk into the right scenario all of a sudden and like have, especially I'm getting a lot around other people coming in as opportunities, or collaborating on things, because having the Three of Pentacles come up twice is just huge. It really just feels like you're gonna have a lot of opportunities to practice being in relationship with other people in ways that there's so much mutual benefit happening that, yeah, it's gonna kind of like continue to move you along this path where you are being shown this beautiful potential, and that you're creating it. You and those in your life who you are choosing to allow in, you're creating it together, and that's really amazing. So that's what I'm seeing, group 3, for your big evolution. This is quite exciting. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Definitely give it a like if you liked it. That helps me out so much on my channel, and I appreciate you, and I'm grateful to the planets for coming through with their insights today through this energy, and hopefully I'll see you in another reading. All right, thanks y'all. Bye.